Hello everyone, thanks for coming back. Or if it's your first time clicking on my video, thanks for checking it out. Just so you know, I'm a random dude. I enjoy true crime. I enjoy watching trials. I just figured I'd put my opinion out there in case anybody gave a shit. So, if you're feeling inclined, please hit that like button. I know it's fucking stupid. I know you hate hearing it every time, but it really does help. Also, please consider subscribing. I'm going to be doing a weekly breakdown of the trial of Lucy Letby happening in the UK. Remember, Lucy has not been found guilty and everything is allegedly. These are going to be my own words and my interpretation of the trial going on. This is going to be for entertainment purposes only. So before we get started on this video, I just want to say something real quick about my last video. I understand I didn't say everything as impartially as I could have. I said how I felt about it. You know, after reading all the charges that was alleged against her, I put my own feelings on it. I could have been more impartial. I could have been more fair. I should have said allegedly in front of more things and made it more clear that she is not guilty. You know, she's at trial right now. She has not been found guilty. I don't filter my thoughts. In real life, I just let everything out. I say what I think. But after watching the video back, I get why some people had an issue with it. So from now on, I'll stick to the facts. You know, I won't when I'm going to put my opinion on it, when I am going to speculate, I will make it clear that that's what I'm going to do. If I was charged of murder and sitting in jail waiting on or going through trial, all that shit, I would want people to look at this shit fairly, I guess. Or not, I guess, I would. So I do apologize for speculating and putting all these guilt on her, essentially. You just got to remember she's not guilty. She's going through trial right now, and the jury will decide. All right, this is going to be the quick version. I'm going to do a quick breakdown recap for the whole week. If enough people want me to, I'll go into it and I'll do a longer version that goes into more detail. You just got to let me know in the comments. So, this trial is being held at Manchester Crown Court. It began October 4th, 2022. This part that I'm going to talk about now was technically week one. This is just when they finalized jury selection. They had to choose from over 100 people. They ended up with 4 men and 8 women for the final jury. At this time, they also made amendments to add repeated attempted murder charges for each of the babies Lucy allegedly harmed multiple times in an attempt to kill them. Next, prosecution did their opening statements, which began on October 11th, 2022. So this is going to be where I start as week one, since the actual trial wasn't happening until the 11th. They're expecting this trial to take 6 months, which will take it into April, I believe. The jury is going to receive the majority of their evidence on iPads, so they don't get big ass fucking folders full of papers that they can keep track of. They were each given an iPad that was password protected to them. The iPads have no internet access. Day one, there was a lot of press and a lot of public in attendance. A lot of the parents of the babies allegedly harmed were also present. Lead for prosecution is Nick Johnson, KC. KC stands for King's Counsel. It used to be QC for Queen's Counsel, but after the Queen passed, it changed to KC, obviously. This just means they are senior level barristers, whatever. Anyway, Nick Johnson started by outlining circumstances at the hospital and the investigation that took place. He said how the incidences always seemed to happen when Lucy was on duty, and he called her a constant malevolent presence. He said how they searched for alternative explanations for what had happened to the babies, but they were unable to find any. But the one thing they did have in common was Lucy Letby. He told how Lucy allegedly attacked each of the babies. The prosecution spent a lot of time during opening going through the different ways they alleged Lucy did these things to the babies. After this, they went through a bunch of handwritten notes that they found in Lucy's house. They found all these notes in I think it was after her 2018 arrest when they did a search warrant. But they focused on one note in particular. It was a post-it note. It had writing scribbled all over it. It said crazy things like, I killed them on purpose because I was not good enough to take care of them. I am evil, I did this, I'm a horrible, evil person, I will never marry or have kids. You know, there's all kinds of stuff scribbled on this piece of paper. I'll throw it up on screen, and then I threw it into one of my drawing applications to see if I could trace over it to make the writing a little more legible. So I'll put that up after. The prosecution, the Crown, they concluded their opening statements on October 13th. Defense also started their openings on the 13th as well. The lead for defense will be Ben Meyer's KC. He started by urging the jury to consider her innocence and told them this was all one big misunderstanding. They were just using Lucy as a scapegoat. He said this was going to be a difficult case, but it was important to focus on the facts. It was going to be easy to let emotion rule their thinking, especially when it comes to the death of babies. But they needed to stick to the medical facts and the case. He told the jury how Lucy was. She was very kind. She was dedicated, and she would never hurt a baby deliberately. You know, this just wasn't her. She didn't do these things. He went on to say that most of the babies were frail from the start, and the Countess of Chester had shortcomings in their care of patients. If you remember that report that was done, they found 24 things that they could improve upon. So he's saying that none of this is Lucy's fault. It was just due to a bunch of extenuating circumstances. After he finished his opening, prosecution started calling witnesses. They had Dr. Dewey Evans. He was a medical expert. He has been a doctor for over 40 years, and he helped to develop neonatal care where he was working back in the 80s. He basically just walked the jury through what a neonatal unit was. He explained what kind of care they give, what level care they give, how the doctors were alerted to emergencies, what types of monitors the babies were connected to, different medical terms, stuff like that. Nurses on staff, nurses assigned to babies, blah, blah, blah. So that's going to be it for the first week. Not much happened, but please remember these are all allegedly. Lucy has not been found guilty. So if you would, please hit that like button. Consider subscribing. I'm going to keep doing these weekly updates as much as I can through this trial. It might be a couple weeks before I do each week. I can go into the entire detailed accounts of what happened if you want. I just figured, like I said, shorter videos, easier to watch. Just let me know in the comments if you want me to do longer ones. I've written out a bunch of notes so I can go through and do that. It just take me a minute to record them. But that's pretty much it for this week. Just remember these are my own words. Everything is allegedly. This is just a recap. It's not everything that happened. If you want, in the comment section, let me know what you think of this. You know, let me know, do you think Lucy did this? You know, do you think it was she's just being used as a scapegoat so that way the hospital doesn't look bad? You know, I assume they could lose their funding, or if they close the neonatal unit, they'll probably lose a bunch of patients, you know. So could they just be trying to force all this onto Lucy to make themselves look better? You know, you never know. Hopefully this trial will make everything clear. It'd be nice if Lucy was not guilty, you know, being accused of such bad things. I would hope that nobody would harm these babies like that. But we're going to have to wait for the trial and see what the jury thinks, I guess.